Season 2 covered the material from chapter 20 to most of chapter 43 for the manga, providing 2 more fights, some build up for the future fighters like Okita Tsuji, Loki, and I guess even Odin, and the shocking reveal that Buddha is fighting for humanity in the 6th round. This was 10 episodes worth of content. We already have it confirmed that episode 11 to 15 of season 2 will be coming out later this year. No exact date is given at this recording. This of course will most likely only be the Buddha fight, as that goes from chapter 43 to 53. However, the manga is now on chapter 74, covering up to round 8, which I believe will be ending in a few more chapters, so we have more than enough source material for the anime to continue, which in my opinion most likely will, as it's already performing very good in various countries across Netflix. Good news for us Ragnarok fans. But now I'll be going over what will actually occur in the following anime seasons, so stay tuned for some of the most wild and hype reveals. Also, make sure you're subscribed if you're a Ragnarok fan and read the manga. So Buddha's opponent has actually already been revealed in the anime, but not really what you think. The opening shows this dude a few times, someone by the name of Zero. Now, when you consult the original fighter list and look at what's been occurring in the anime, you see Loki and this group known as the Fortune or Lucky Gods, particularly him who's this guy on the original list. So where did Zero come from? With the gods' raids and how Buddha messed up the original layer of the tournament, we see Zeus come down, hinting at them two potentially fighting, something that would have been next level. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and we have the arrival of Bishamonten. Then all the fortune gods fusing together, creating Zero Fortune. As such, we have Zero, Buddha's opponent for round 6. Or I should say first opponent. I have some juicy stuff to discuss shortly. Right away, we get Zero's sad backstory and find out he has passed with Buddha back when he was a human, but the fight itself begins with Buddha stomping, resulting in Zero to progressively get stronger, with us also getting the appearance of Jesus in the manga, who's described as one of the 4 stages which Buddha is a part of. I wonder if they're actually going to keep this in the anime's release. It would be pretty interesting. From there, we also get Buddha's full flashback of him obtaining enlightenment. Pretty cool stuff, with both of their flashbacks being around half an episode's length, not too long. As the fight continues, we see Buddha remind Zero of who he is and what his original purpose was, kinda saving him in a way, and of course resulting in their final clash of fists and Buddha knocking him out. This is where we have something within Zero actually awaken, having 2 dragons leave his body and create this egg around him, and then something beginning to hatch and come out. But before we get to see what this actually is, we get the introduction of a new god who's confirmed to be fighting in the future, Beelzebub, who's hinted to be involved in what's occurring currently. Now Zero has become something known as Hajun, the demon lord of the 6th heaven, a creature no one seems to know about, leaving Hermes stunned, Brynhilde freaking out, and once again another introduction. This time, not a god who's stated to be fighting in the future, someone who was mentioned only once back during the 3rd round of Poseidon's flashback. The older brother of the supreme god Zeus, Hades, has arrived, who explains what Hajun is and gives us more information about the world of Ragnarok. So of course, round 6 continues with something very different. Buddha can no longer use his ace ability known as Future Vision. This is because Hajun is just pure darkness and very clearly is much stronger than the likes of Zero, destroying one of Buddha's eyes, and it gets fully revealed that Beelzebub was the one who put Hajun inside of Zero, meaning this isn't another transformation for Zero or anything like that, a new character. Buddha as they fight is beginning to lose against Hajun until he is touched by something, resulting in Buddha to do a volume with Zero somehow, and complete something known as Fates Intertwined, the thing that was kinda mentioned by Loki in Buddha's initial introduction. This, as expected, made Buddha stronger, and he began putting fear into Arjun, resulting in Buddha's future vision ability to start working again, and then Buddha defeats Arjun and becomes the 3rd winner for humanity. This is where I believe the second half of season 2 is most likely going to end. perhaps also the introduction of the next fighters, which I'll go over now. Before round 7 begins, we get a scene of Odin confronting Beelzebub about him not wanting this fly to disturb Ragnarok. Once again, a very suspicious scene for Odin. We begin the build up for round 7 now, with Hades being the fighter for the gods, revealing his rage about his brother Poseidon's death. Once again, the story is straying away from the original lineup. We get introduced to the human fighter Nostradamus, who was simply a menace as someone who destroyed the thing known as the Bifrost, the gate between heaven and Helheim, and is described by Brunhilde as the Joker for humanity who will fight later on, so building up potentially the strongest human here. However, the fighter for humanity in round 7 is selected to be Qin Huang, so the battle between the rulers is the theme, Hades versus the Chinese Emperor. Their fight begins with Huang's armor volumed and Hades fusing the remains of Poseidon's weapon with his own. Huang is the first person to take the lead, with us learning that he defeated the demon god Qiyu when he was alive, and also stole Qiyu's martial art fighting style, with us also getting his childhood flashback of why Huang wears this blindfold, which of course comes off due to one of Hades' counters during the fight. We then cut to outside of the fight to see Beelzebub, with another twist. The other brother of Zeus, Poseidon and Hades, who we originally thought was killed by Poseidon, is still alive. As such, the arrival of cyborg Adamas, who was saved by Hades and Beelzebub, and we also learn why Hades is regarded as the most respected god in his flashback. The climax of their fight occurs next, with Huang's Valkyrie recasting into a sword. Hades makes his weapon stronger with his own blood and takes off one of Huang's arms. However, in the end, Huang outplayed Hades and claimed victory for humanity, resulting in the score being 3 wins to 4 in humanity's favour for the first time in the whole tournament. Then before round 8, we see Adamas who's enraged and actually tries to kill Brunhilde, who was then saved by Beelzebub. We get the introduction of the human fighter Kintoki, who was friends with Buddha, who mentioned something very interesting. The dragon slaying hero Siegfried, who will supposedly shake up Ragnarok according to Buddha. Then the introduction of Tesla and his Volund, who of course is humanity's fighter for round 8, and is now facing Beelzebub. He is shortly revealed to most likely be the Satan of the Ragnarok world in his flashback, with this fight still continuing at the release of this video, so I'll stop here for now. Safe to say, this will be the end of season 3 with this fight. Once it occurs, like 3 or 4 more chapters left in my opinion. There's a few more things I didn't discuss, but that's really everything. This is of course considering it's 10 episodes again. If you haven't already, check out all the other stuff in the description. Shout out to the mad lads who support the channel via the Patreon, and you may like these other Record of Ragnarok videos. That's it guys, peace.